what's wrong? She goes, come here. I walk through 2 steps, and around a tree, we see this black, squatted over, like, hunch of a figure.
That's
and
it.
I immediately turn to the right and just walk 2 steps to get out of its sight, and I go, that might, I don't know what the hell that is.
Oh, that dude just ran right into that.
As
That was
I
funny.
walk back to make another look, I don't see shit. There's nothing there. There's nothing nothing happened except it was just gone. And immediately I go, alright, we need to act calm. We need to stay here for like a minute or two. We can walk back to the house afterwards. Don't freak out. Don't have any bad energy.
Don't show it any fear. No fear, and it will leave you alone.
And she was like,
It
okay,
will leave you
okay.
alone.
I said, alright, now we stand by the fire for a few seconds. And then I said, alright, let's go inside. Turned and started walking. As soon as we start walking, you know how they always talk about some sort of fucking smell?
Yep, that's when you get
As
it.
soon as I started walking back to the house, straight to my fucking nose, and I just go, alright.
It's like dead, it's like, you know when an animal rots in your property that you can't find?
Yeah, or your deer
That's
guts spoiled in the hot sun for 2 days.
That's exactly
3 days.
it. Out here, they don't really take form much. They don't really feel the need to
hide.
To fucking, like, trick you. They already know.
There he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I was thinking of putting together a book.
Yes, dude, fuck
which
yeah.
is some of my experiences, like, and it's not just that, like, I travel all over the place. If you want to really feel some bad things, like, if you want the omnipresence of that kind of shit, go to WWII National Park and spend 2 nights by yourself, or go to the Bob Wilderness in Montana.
2 nights? What do you mean? I'm gonna go 3 nights with infrared fucking shit so I can see, like, out in the...
I don't know anyone who's gotten 2 nights themselves, and Josh, you gotta think, it's just... It's nearly 1,200 square miles of just terrible feeling shit, but
you love
a lot of the
411
times...
cases, huh, creepy?
Dude, I've had terrible feelings my entire life, trust.
I've spoke out to David Polides. He's a fucking piece of shit. Don't believe anything that guy says. That guy's a fucking cocksucker. He doesn't do his research.
I fucking knew it. There's a motherfucker in that bunker with a flamethrower. God damn it.
And he
Somebody needs to load that shit.
Hold on, I'll get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the guy that's worth watching is Steve Stockton. That guy's honest about all this. Steve Stockton's from out in the Sierra Nevadas. David Polides he's looking to make money as a retired detective. When he does his research, like, if you ever want to watch a really good case where a lot of the shit's been debunked already, watch the Aaron Hedges case in the Crazies of Montana.
Right now I'm watching...
Aaron Hedges' cases is... Which one is it?
Belief Hole podcast.
I don't know if I've seen that. What's that one?
It says Appalachian Horror and Strange Stories with Steve Stockton.
That's Steve Stockton. He's a good dude, that guy. He doesn't really deal with the public much, though. He's got a great book series, dude. He's got a book series. One's in Great Smoky Mountain National, which is the most visited park. Then the other one is Joshua Tree, Yosemite, and Glacier. And then I forget the last one because I don't like that park. But there's a lot of...
Dude, I want to get, like, an RV so I can just, like, travel to, like, all the national parks ever and just, like, fucking survive in them for, like, a week on end.
If you're good, it's a fucking huge, it's a big accomplishment. I'm getting ready right now for it's called the American Discovery Trail. It's going to take me a little over a year. But I start in Maryland and I'll finish in California. It's about 4,800 miles.
Ooh, that sounds fucking sick.
The Pacific Crest Trail is pretty sick. That one's worth doing. But if you want...
You could be the next Dahmer and I'd still go with you on that, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I'm looking for anyone that wants to even try it with me.
I'm 17, so I'm fine.
Oh, no.
I'm 22, brother. I'm about to be 23.
Well, I'll be 18 this year.
I'll probably be zonked half the time anyway, but...
Tank.
Yeah, we'll be good energy.
Well, you know, and that's the other thing, too, is, like, the Appalachian Trail is definitely the creepiest place.
That's the one I want to go on the most.
Is that the one you want to try? Dude, it's super fun, but make sure you have good people that will help you, because you have to have people resupply you every, like, you change seasons when you do it.
So you need different clothes, different, all that.
Oh, you need you need people to resupply you everywhere you go. It's a hard trail, no doubt.
Is that a tank?
Yes.
No way they put a fucking tank on this shit. They did. Okay.
Another cool one is the Arizona Transcontinental Trail. That one goes about, you can do it in 7 weeks, but you start in Utah and finish in Mexico. I'd be careful doing any of that right now, though. Like, those borders, within about 100 miles, that border's very dangerous. No, dude, I found dead people and everything on my endeavors.
Well, I'm not surprised about that.
I found an ulna out in the, like an ulna in a radius, like from a human arm. I found one of those out in, I was in the Saguaro National, and right outside of that in the Sonoran Desert, a lot of people get dropped off there when they fuck up, like with gangs and mafia and shit like that. So there's all sorts of bad juju out there. But if you are gonna bury someone, bury them on the Route 15 in California. That's where we find the most dead people.
Nice.
That's where no one will ask questions.
No one, yeah, and usually you're good for a couple of months. Nobody will say, no one will find shit for a couple months, and the only way that, it's kind of like hunting, the way you look for dead bodies in the desert is the same as animals. You look for birds, vultures, coyotes. You'll find them. It's a sick world we live in.
I want you to start telling me, you said that you had shit that would make it, or put you in a loony bin. I want to hear the shit that would put you in a loony bin for.
Yeah, no, me too. That's what I've been waiting for.
Yeah. Story time.
When I was in Massachusetts, National Geographic did a documentary on a place called the Bridgewater Triangle. It's like the Bermuda Triangle. You know Bridgewater?
I don't know a lot about it, but I've heard so many like little like tidbits of it.
My original place that drew me to this, where I grew up, I was a legitimate swamp kid. I lived in the Hockomock Swamp on the Taunton River. And as a young child, there was 2 friends of ours, the Gill family, and the tank coming straight down the road there. And my brother, and we used to go down there and fish for turtles with dead bait that we used to steal off the ground from the bait store. And I had this cat. It was an orange tabby cat that I just kind of let run around all the time. And we were fishing, and we weren't really doing very good on the you know, the turtle side. So, picture yourself. You know what cattails are? Like them big brown things that look like hot dogs.
Ones that make your friend go when he eats it.
It's tons of those fucking things. And long story short, we seen the cat, and started chasing. You know, we were younger, we were kids, and we chased it for probably a good fucking.
Flamethrower dude just went back into.
Yeah, he just smoked me. Probably like.
I tried to warn you.
4 or 5 minutes chasing it deeper in the woods. We weren't thinking. I don't know what we were thinking. Everyone knew not to go deep in the swamp. So we get there and I turn this corner. Again, crouched down, black. She was, I mean, I'm going to say she, but she was probably about 8 foot if she stood up. And it was crouched down, and I turned the corner, and I remember making eye contact with it. Me and the girl turned first, then my brother and his buddy. I outran the devil that day. We started hauling ass back out, and you know, we were getting chased. And I remember looking right at the fucking thing, and I hadn't felt right, but I think it was about a day or 2 later. I don't know what would be the way to put it. I was sleeping, and next thing I know, I woke up, and I'm probably about a mile and a half into these swamplands in the woods. I wasn't sleepwalking. I know what sleepwalking is.
Yeah.
But I had to listen to the way the water was going so that I could tell where I was, how to get back out. I got back out about 5:30. They did a bunch of neurological testing on me and shit. It was that fucking thing. It was luring me back out there in my sleep. I had to go get ayahuasca. You know that in Peru where they give you ayahuasca? So that you can overcome like severe traumas and shit. As I got older, so I think that's kind of why I have a premonition of these things, because after that, I took it kind of like a vendetta. I got mad. I went looking for these fucking things.
You were pissed off? That's... Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I got mad, man. Like, I was fucking irritated. This thing made me feel like a fucking nut job. They had people prod me, and doctors were telling me I had issues with, like, what would be the words? This guy's got a flamethrower, and he's trying to chase me down.
Apparitions.
Yeah, and you know, and then like they try all these medications on you as a kid and whatever, and long story short, it never got any better, so I decided to go looking for all this shit as kind of like what would be the word? Kind of like a mission. So I knew the only way you're ever going to get out and see some of these things, but I saw the black cat out here.
Dude, that's... Alright, that's the fucking creepy part about my grandparents. Is my grandparents were talking before we even saw this about how there's a black mountain lion around. I went, fucking what? They go, yeah, there's a black mountain lion. It's been around for about 8 years now. And we were like, I was like, because I'm big on this shit. I love this shit. I was like, that's usually rare as shit, or it's not a possible thing.
Well, the thing about the black things is people in Florida always, oh, you know, it's a fucking Black Panther. Panthers don't exist in this country.
I know.
Yeah, this is why I pursued what I did, wildlife biology. I like to study animals, but cats is the specialty that I went into for a subsection. But there's 6 types of mountain lions, and the only melanistic trait comes from jaguars. Jaguars do live in Arizona. There's 8 of them right now that we know of. And there used to be 32 types of mountain lions. Now, they all originated from the eastern part of Amazon, Brazil. So Texas is our best lineage in this country. So for the fact of a Texas, I think it was 72 or 75 Texas mountain lions were integrated into Florida, the Everglade population of quote-unquote panthers. It seemed to help them out a little bit, but out in Arizona, we've never been altered. So there's no way we can have that melanistic gene with just one animal. So that cat is about 3 times the size of what a regular Arizona mountain lion should look like. Arizona mountain lions are very small compared to Oregon, Washington, Montana. Yeah, they don't do much, but that Black Panther, there's 2 of them in the country that people can't explain. One of them is in Arizona, right where your grandparents lived out by the res. The other one is in New Hampshire, North New Hampshire, and I've fucking seen it. I've been out there. I spent numerous months.
You ever see a black cat with 4 front limbs?
I have not. I wish. But sometimes I wonder if I'm really just schizophrenic. Like I know I'm already autistic. Like the doctors clearly told me that. You know, and I just wonder if it's the schizophrenia or something, like, because there's ways that I cannot explain some of this shit.
No. My thing is...
talking in the nighttime, the lady crying down by the river in Mexico was the scariest thing I've ever heard. She was down by the Rio Grande.
Possibly?
I was too afraid to say it, but yeah, I think so.
Oh,
I think that one's legitimate.
That's my thing. I could not fucking handle women or small children, like, entity stories. Like, I will... Because nothing ever good comes from a child entity. Nothing great happens with a female that's a grown-up.
In the middle west part of this state, some of the guys that I've linked up with about this shit, and I asked them about their skinwalker and rake experiences or anything, a lot of them tell me that doesn't exist. The one that they always talk about is people trying to get in their kids getting in their houses, the black-eyed kids. They don't show their eyes, but they show up dressed really nice. They're clean. They don't, but they're always like their only goal is to get into your house. I don't know what happens when they get in.
Possession, obsession, oppression.
Okay, dude.
There's some things we can't explain.
This give me goosebumps, bro. Cause I get that. What's it called? Like that sleep paralysis shit sometimes.
Oh.
They say that's the entity on your chest.
So like. I'll see like visual illusions and I'm like I can't like move. I'm like, okay, whatever. But it's the audio illusions that get me, bro.
See,
I'll hear kids, bro.
a lot of the drugs that I've done for rehabilitation are considered hardcore hallucinogenic drugs, so they think I might have tainted myself. I don't believe I did. I believe I'm completely fine. I mean, I can have normal conversations. I carry certain cards for different organizations. I'm a survivor. That's what I do. I go into remote areas and I hunt and I research, and I don't do any of the hallucinogenics in the woods. When I'm out, I'm completely sober. I don't even smoke weed when I'm out. But when I come home and I get into this shithole, I have to somehow, what would be the word? What is it called when you organize something? Chronological order of things.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have to put chronologies in my head of what the fuck is going on out there. Because if you see it when you're cold sober, but it's one thing to see it and be able to get out of there. I'm not getting out of there sometimes for a couple days to a few weeks, and I have to deal with these fucking things.
Yeah.
So they fuck with you constantly until you leave. That's why Joshua Tree scares me. Joshua Tree, you are on a time basis. If you don't get out in time, you are fucked. No one who's had a bad experience at Joshua Tree has ever really gotten back out of there.
Yeah, we don't really know about all the bad experiences because they probably ended bad.
You know, and that's the thing is you got to think at all given moments, 2,600 people are missing just in national parks alone.
Yeah.
Now,
and why are they national parks? Why are they still national parks?
Well, if you take, what's the most rugged land in the world where people respect it and they don't destroy it and there's laws? But the thing is, if you take a heat map and you have the missing persons in a heat map with, like, say, red dots telling you who's where, and you put it over the United States cave system map, you just got your answer.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, so it's something in the aliens don't come from out in space. They come from in our own Earth. There's things that we can't fucking explain here. Whether they're other entities, everyone sees aliens and thinks, oh, just gray little guys. Not even fucking close.
What about the
No one's to say aliens are more advanced than us. They could just be something that we see, like this. So whether we want to I just call them terrestrial. I don't know what they are, but they're not from here. I can tell you that right fucking now. But you got to think in Hebrew, Arizona. Whose parents?
Made to amplify signal.
Who had grandparents in Arizona?
Me, or like my family is from.
You said they lived close to New Mexico.
Some still do live in New Mexico. They grow pot, but
So right to the left of where they'd live then, in the reservation, outside of a place called Sholo, is something called Heber Overgaard. Heber Overgaard. Overgaurd. Go look into the story of Travis out there. He's still alive. You can talk to him. He won't talk to me. I've gone to his house like 3 times. But he was the guy that what would be the... He got abducted in front of 5 of his friends. And he came back like a week and a half later. Like he survived.
Oh, wasn't that the dude they made that movie about? I've seen that movie.
Yes, that's it. Travis Walton. That's a true story. And he's still up there. People won't talk to him because they said he's full of shit. But those other 5 guys, only one of them is dead. So 4 of them are still saying the exact same story right now.
Dude, I could talk with people who've experienced shit non-stop. I could do this for days.
Every time that I think I get it bad, dude, I hear some guy tell me a story that he had. Like, one guy that I met in Kentucky said he called it the rake. I don't know which one. He just said it was long and white. He got it.
Skinwalker or rake. Yeah.
He got it.
I've heard of the rake. Yeah.
He got his children killed camping,
Oh.
and I talked to him about it, and his daughter and his son. But the only one that's truly convinced me in the Midwest of the rake was a young Indian, or like a feather, not a dot Indian in Ohio.
Oh yeah, native. Yeah.
Yeah, he was adopted by a white gentleman, and he was 12 when this happened. Him and his dad went out, and they were pretty poor people, so they were hunting raccoons, he told me, and coyotes and shit for like $10 to $15 a pelt. and they found like some destroyed goats, like ripped up, shredded,
Oh,
and
not even consumed, just
not an animal. Yeah, and in Ohio, there's nothing that can, you know, but they kept following them, and what pretty much happened was they got to a barn after like 2 or 3 torn up animals, and they went in.
Wait. Was this the one where they walk in and his dad got destroyed?
His dad tried to shoot it.
Yeah,
and the fucking thing turned around. Yeah, I met that kid. He's recently gotten out of the army. Just recently.
He stabbed it with his knife, his dad's knife.
No, this is a different one.
Different story? Do you know which one I'm talking about, though?
Yeah, this kid only had his .22. He had a little Ruger 10/22 with a 10-rounder in it, and his dad hit it with the shotgun, and it turned around and fucking shredded his dad in front of him, he said. Ripped him to shreds, and he said he started running, and when he got to the neighbor's house, who was a wealthier white guy, he said that pretty much what happened was they let him in. There was like 3 or 4 of the old cowboy or Midwestern farmers drinking in there, and the fucking thing still pursued the house. They were all trying to shoot it from out the windows, he was saying. He was like 12, he was freaking out in the basement, and he says as he came up, they were still fighting and whatever, and he said that the thing got his hand through the fucking door.
I think I might have just confused some stories. This is the one I was trying to reference. I think I just confused.
Yeah, he blew his fucking hand off, the thing's hand.
And they lost the hand.
Yeah, the FBI came, he told me.
Yeah.
Or not the FBI, what's the other one there? The creepy
cops.
one.
The cops were driving with it, and somehow the cop car crashed, and it just disappeared. And they said it was a bear
rest his soul, his name was Jonathan, he recently just killed himself.
Oh.
Yeah, so something wasn't sitting right in his head, but Ohio's a weird place for shit like that. There was a tiger in the woods hunting out there once.
That's probably just from the zoo, though.
Yeah, the neighbor had a cat sanctuary. Imagine hunting for deers and seeing a big Siberian tiger.
It's a weird conversation to walk in on here.
Tiger.
You got any weird wood stories, dude?
Who, me? Oh, I was gonna say. No, negative, sir. I'm from the desert.
Yeah, what's
that? Perfect weird story.
I'm Las Vegas. Yeah,
see,
we just have Area 51 out there and all the other shit.
Bro, you gotta have alien stories.
You gotta get all the good UFOs.
I do have a story about Area 51. My friend, his dad worked there, and they had they used to have like FBI come and check on him, make sure he's not like spending frivolously, like he's getting paid off, like some kind of spy.
Yeah.
And his dad never talked about his work. He used to get on those red line planes and everything. Anyways, besides the point, we were all getting shit-faced later on. And one time he told me his dad, before he died, they were out in the middle of nowhere. And he like pulled off the side of the road. And he told them like, hey, you know, I'm not going to live forever. And I just want you to know that he's like, aliens are real. They're here. You know, just like totally gave him the whole lowdown. And that shit blew my mind, man. I was like, no fucking way.
No, they are 100%.
Your friend's dad turning to you, tell you the same story. Hey, you should know this too.
Well, by trade, I'm a plumber, and I was in a guy's house the other day, and he's a lunatic, but his entire house is covered in like papers, like on the wall and shit.
Oh wow, that's weird.
I saw his what would be the word? I saw his like magazines, and I seen it was Yale, and I said, "Oh, cool, bro. I was Harvard," and he said Skull and Bones, and I said, "No, he was a regular guy wrestling." And he said, "I never got into Skull and Bones." I said, "What'd you do as an occupation?" He said, "I worked for the CIA." I go, "Were you like an agent?" He goes, "No, I was an investigator." He speaks like 6 languages, and he showed me a 15-page long like single transcript from the Russians, and it went out to the Germans, the Americans. This was 1972. He took it from the office. I'm sure he'd go to jail modern day if they knew he had it, but it was translated on the bottom. In 1972, the Russians said that they had a UFO inside airspace, and they were going to cross through numerous NATO countries so that they could pursue it. He told me straight up, he goes, "Dude, I'm old enough, I don't give a fuck, aliens are real."
Oh yeah, that shit's legit.
I'm not surprised by that at all. Because the
You know, but it sucks too, because your government's such a bunch of cunts. Like, people died spending their whole life trying to prove this, and then they just came out and said it. Like, people fucking
Yeah, but
literally
if
die
you're a
over this
government, you
research.
don't want to let people know you're not in control. That's the whole point.
Have you guys read the book of Enoch?
No, I haven't.
Enoch and Apocrypha? Yeah, the stuff
read,
they took out of the King
Enoch
James
1, 2,
Bible.
3 about the Bible. Yeah, I'm not Christian. I was raised as a Muslim, which is just as fucking dangerous as Christians, but they all correlate to the same thing.
Yeah. That's
wow,
my thing.
was a
Like all
huge
these
shot.
religions all correlate to the same God, do they not? Or like the same.
Well, they're all
entity that's-
so. I think because Islam is the newest one, it gives us the best representation. But the Torah was supposedly, you know, the Old Testament was Moses. We all agree on that.
Yep.
And then the New Testament was Jesus Christ. We agree on that. And then they just believe that Jesus wasn't the final prophet.
Yeah.
So remember when Isaac killed the guy, everybody with the donkey's bone, 1,000 people with the donkey's bone, the donkey's jaw? That's where Islam.
Oh yes, Samson, right?
A guy went to his fucking cave and pretty much nicely said, "Hey, fucking." So it's kind of bullshit that people are even killing each other over this. But what Enoch states is that he was, so Enoch obviously being an extraterrestrial, and he's in the book, he's in the Vatican. But with that being said, he nicely was our creator, he was God, but some of these quote-unquote archangels was his species fucking what they created, which was us. They fucked with monkeys, supposedly. So, like, Noah's Ark wasn't because we were sinning, it's because the Nephilites were being created by us fucking aliens. That's where they believe that humans get starseeds from.
Yeah.
And a lot of it correlates that our God is probably an alien. And if you look at just the sheer size of the universe, anyone that thinks it's just us out
Bro,
there
the
is
Fifth
fucking
Element
idiot.
was probably showing us shit that was real, if you think about it.
There's, I think they say that the downfall of these elite people is going to be symbolism. And I believe you are correct on that. They stick it in our fucking faces.
Yeah. The fucking, what was it called? The really rich
Fifth
people
Element,
who
though?
did the surreal party?
What'd you say on that one?
The really rich people who did the surrealist party?
Yes. That kind of shit.
Back in
like
1970s?
There's some weird little cliques that go on, but people have to look, like, in those Ivy League schools, and I'm not, like, saying they're smart people, because they're not. I'm fucking retarded. I'm just really good at wrestling. But, pretty much what I saw was, all these people are coming from the same exact alma maters. They have the same Greek lives. They're in the same clubs. And then they get into these weird little cliques when they get into politics. And they all know better than to just hide it. That they all know. So that's kind of a scary thought.
We're all gonna get shot after this game. Watch.
I 100% agree. I'm waiting for them to come grab me.
If they come and grab me and go, we're gonna kill you, I'll just go, can I smoke weed before I go, at least? Like, can I just
And I'm okay if they want to come for me, like, I'm armed to the fucking teeth.
Oh my god.
Like,
come and take it, bitches. 12 gauges, ARs, I will chop you with American power, bitch.
I've got guns, I don't even know how they work.
Why do you think they're trying to get rid of Second Amendment?
I got guns that I don't even know how they fucking work.
Saying, I feel my dad has a fucking Navy black powder revolver from the 80s.
If you need help figuring out how to use them, I'll help you out, bro.
We can help. Save
yeah,
me
we
off,
can help you, dude.
Trigger, pull.
You just buy the brass, dude, and we'll help you out, bro. I'll bring some brass, too, dude. Yeah.
If you want a good rifle,
guns from all over the world.
If you want a good rifle, get the M1 carbine from this game. It can be dismantled and put back together with a shell that you shoot from.
I have an M1A SOCOM. That's my primary go out the door gun. And then I have that Ruger SFAR AR-10. I got a couple different types of calibered ARs. Like, I got a 6 ARC, 6.8 SPC.
Any blackout? Any 300 blackout?
What's your bug out bag look like?
It's wild. Majority of it's not geared around guns. A lot of antibiotics. Tourniquets is #1, always. To get me out of some bad... snake venom is useless to carry, like most people say. But, I have a key underneath one of my ARs for shotgun shells.
Fuck yes!
Yeah, it cost me quite a bit.
I bet.
Cost me a lot of money, and it was well worth it. But there's I use a Teton 50 cubic, and if I'm heading out the door, my number one long-term survival gun is just a straight 12 gauge 18-inch shotgun.
Oh god.
It's versatile as shit, and in the desert, you're not getting many close shots on fucking deers. So birds, small game, that's your number one survival right there, and the problem is, the birds and stuff I can't fucking eat. I mean, the rabbits, they have parasites out here. So I can only eat certain things at certain times of the year.
Yeah, rabbits wouldn't be good long term anyway.
But if it comes to humans, the round that I found works the best is 6.8 SPC in 7.62.
Have you had to protect yourself on those trails from an actual human?
I just blew that guy up there.
No, the one time I had to actually do something bad was I was in the city. The one time I go to the fucking city. And look what happened.
Approach you and have to try around.
Do you remember when Haiti? Do you remember when Haiti went underwater in 2007? Yeah.
I mean, I don't remember it because I was one, but like I know about it because my friend I knew a guy who was at
They
Haiti.
took like 5,000 of them to the city I was at, and that's what happened. Fuck man, I couldn't reload. Not good. I have had some weird encounters in the backwoods with people though, where I almost had to shoot a guy recently. And I was driving off-road and he was in the middle of the desert like 15 miles out. I don't know what he was doing, but he told me I was shooting sniper fire over his head. I think he was like an old Vietnam vet. And I was like, buddy, nigga, I'll fucking kill you right here and no one's gonna know about it. Get the fuck out of here. I don't give a fuck if you're in Saigon or not.
There's some secret badass who's just like, alright, bud.
Every time I see a person that deep in the woods, I know they're not there for a good reason.
Yeah.
Like, I don't hunt in normal fucking areas. I hunt in areas where I don't see people for weeks.
I would give so...
Dude, if I see Chuck Norris, I'm definitely shooting him because I'm in trouble. Well, did you see those Russian spies that were surveilling that Green Beret?
Yeah, and they got fucking what was coming to them?
Yeah, and the Chechens are really good fighters anyways. They beat the Russians just off tactics when they had their war. They were very smart if you study the Chechen tactics in urban warfare. But if you want to survive in the woods, in terms of a complete collapse of humans, there's a book, remember this name and go get it. It's very cheap, read it, and it'll help you a lot, especially with guerrilla warfare and the Muslim culture. It's called The Bear Went Over the Mountain. And it was all the Russian tactics that failed in Afghanistan. So when you train for special operations of almost any sort, you go to Arizona. This is where you learn to fight in the Middle East, is in Arizona. It looks just like Iraq, Iran, Afghanistan. So these are like the Kurdu and the Kush Mountains. They all look just like this. But read The Bear Went Over the Mountain and you'll understand why these Chechens and these Russians and these Georgians.
Yeah, where are you on Arizona?
Currently, I'm up in the Prescott region.
Okay.
We need to start
a
an
little north
party.
of Prescott at that point.
Just
I'm in Green Creek. Yeah, if you guys ever come down here, we can just fucking, I'll show you all sorts of... I found a cave the other day that went about 480 yards back in a city called Jerome, and I kept going and it dropped. God, it must have dropped a half a mile.
Damn.
I almost fucking went down, bro. I shouldn't have been in there alone. No one would have fucking known.
Yeah, I was gonna say, one, you're not gonna be found. Two, you really got.
That's where I do believe some people go missing is negligence.
Oh yeah.
Did you just say Jerome? A cave in Jerome?
Yeah, so you know the Route 89 that goes through the mountain? It's 15 miles long. If you're not coming from the Cottonwood, Sedona side, if you're coming from the Prescott side, Prescott Valley specifically...
Are you talking like Arizona?
Yeah, if you go up the 89, there's a cave. We spray painted dinosaur footprints in front of it now, so that people can find it.
I had like a heart attack because I'm in like the southern Idaho area, and like there's literally the town.
I was in Nez Perce, bro.
No way, really.
I was just in Nez Perce. And it wasn't for any particular reason. I was just quote unquote vacationing.
Creepy. What's your name on PlayStation?
How do I
your
find that?
Xbox. Your Xbox, fuck.
Here, I'll send the things through right now, so that if I lose you guys,
I sent you a friend request.
copy. I'm gonna send them all back this way.
Dude, this is such a fun fucking...
Yeah,
You don't realize,
fucking Germans.
I'm having a fucking wet dream over here because I fucking love all this cryptic shit. Now I'm talking to some guy who actually, like,
goes and does
I'm
it.
glad I got to experience my one experience. I want to experience more, but like hearing this shit.
If you want to do it, there are ways that you can get a little bit of an edge in getting these things to come out to you. Look into the Sam White Owl series. Sam White Owl is an actual there's a I mean, this is gonna sound crazy, but it's true. There's a group of people that do this for a living. And
I know that.
yeah, Sam White Owl was the greatest cryptid hunter of all time. And it'll tell you exactly what to do, what to be looking for. But those ones, you know, these are all over the fucking world. There's a lot of them in Africa as well.
Is his name Swamp Dweller? Because I searched up Sam White Owl.
Swamp Dweller probably has done a big series on him, because I'm familiar with Swamp Dweller. He's down in Florida. He probably, yeah, you know what? If he has those, listen to them. There's books of them too. But listening sometimes easier because they can paint a picture.
The reason why I think I'm autistic slightly is because I love taking copious amounts of information at one time, and if I don't catch myself in the right mood, I won't study things. So like I'll take in as much information as possible, because studying sucks to me.
You know, knowledge is power when it comes to anything, and we live in a time where we have the world's existential knowledge in our fucking pocket, and we're still getting shit wrong.
Yeah. My thing is
reading's a lost art, and reading about things that you can retain the information to, people call it intelligence. It's not. Just being able to retain information. Get as much of it as you can, and it's amazing. Like, you see people make really dumb decisions, but, you know, take a kid like Alex Honnold, who free soloed those fucking mountains with no ropes. Go look at the amount of research he's done on just certain climbing techniques, just like he could do that.
My thing is,
go to a library before you do anything. That's my fucking philosophy. Hit a library. For $1.50 in late fees, you can get a Harvard education.
My thing is with people nowadays, they let their opinions and their feelings hit what they should know and think.
Yeah.
Feelings aren't facts.
Feelings are not facts. Fuck you. Fuck how you feel about this. This
How
is what
how old are you guys?
Understand shit like that. I'm 32 now.
Alright.
I'm just happy to be here. I didn't really plan on getting this fucking far.
Yeah, me too. But that's just the way it is.
I've already expected that I would have fallen off a cliff or died in some fucking weird avalanche or some shit by now, and I don't really know how to cope with it, because now the world's, it looks like, and I know this is going to sound selfish and really self-centered, but I feel that like I've lived past my time where shit's getting a little too crazy for me now. Like, I'm looking at the world that we live in, and I'm praying that I have enough
mental fortitude,
understanding of the way things have gone to
You got any
get
kids
through this. I have 2. Well,
There you go.
neither by mine. After first one passed away, I didn't really have it in me anymore.
Oof.
Oh, dude.
Not the
I'm sorry
child,
to hear that as a
my
father.
wife. My wife.
Your wife, either one. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I didn't have it in me after that.
Even though I've already said it, I'm sorry about your wife.
It's okay. Shit happens. Well, I also think that's kind of the reason I've gotten so blessed, is having her around. So they bring a weird juju, the Indians.
Mm-hmm.
They bring a really weird juju that most people don't understand. Like they, what would be the word? They have a spiritual sense and connection with nature that we don't have as white folks. I'm not saying you guys are black, but black people don't have it either. So I can group us all together this time.
No segregation.
Yeah, that's why if you ever end up in a party out in the woods looking for something, keep the Indians out. You don't want them around.
Yeah.
They lure this shit in. Cause out
That's
here,
why
the Apache DNAs, you're not even allowed to talk about it, but my wife now, she works with mostly Navajos and Apaches. And, yeah, dude, straight up, like, there's some over there that will not talk about this. They call it Yinal Shalduli, is the word for skinwalkers in DNA. And you bring that up, they spit at you and everything. They don't want to talk about it.
We're pretty sure on my grandpa's side, the guy his family's from New Mexico area.
From AZ, there's a good chance he's mixed up in at least mestizo. He might be, you got Hispanic in you at all?
No, I don't know about Hispanic, but we think that we have Navajo in us, or some sort of Native American.
Yeah, so you had something that was giving you a premonition.
This was the weird shit that happened. I wasn't with my dad when this happened, but my dad, my brother, and my other brother were just hiking. They were hiking a trail for Boy Scouts whenever Boy Scouts was still fucking Boy Scouts.
When they were actually tough?
Yeah, when they would walk in a fucking desert and dehydrate themselves to fucking see the views and then go back. While they were walking, they were kind of away from the group. My dad just sees a Native American man walk out of the woods. He was also hiking. It wasn't like it was strange. It was a public trail. People are there. And he walks past my dad and my brothers, and he stops and goes, "Excuse me, sir. Do you know if your family's of any Native descent?" My dad just goes, "I mean, we think, maybe, but we don't know." And the Native American looks him up and down. And granted, we look white as snow. We tan really well, but we look white as snow off of
but you're all
like winter
white,
colors.
yeah.
Yeah. So he looks my dad up and down and goes, "You definitely have some sort of Native American in you. You're not all white." And my dad just goes, "Well, thank you. I mean, we don't know for a fact. I'm not gonna, just go around flaunting that about." But that was my dad's like weird experience with Native American.
I'm gonna lock a squad up on the next one because this was still my first game. Feel free to join, guys. I'd like to hear that end of that. That sounds like the end of the story.
Oh, it is my end of the story. It was something cool that